let's just start. Let's go through them. I wish there was something that could make me feel good in life. Thursday night, got this one wrong. Adelaide manages to lose against Collingwood in an interesting parallel to their last match together. I think that in that game, the first one, but like right before the final series, we saw Collingwood getting back into the form and the sort of structure that they were renowned for throughout that like early part of the year. But we also saw an Adelaide that was like able to sort of absorb a bit of that Collingwood pressure. You know, it wasn't pretty, but they got it done. They had defensive holes, but they managed to sort of mitigate some of the Collingwood offense, but mainly they were hurting them on turnover. Now, the opposite happened in this final round. There was a lot of biff in it. There was a lot of like sort of tenseness. You could sort of feel it. It's very clear that these two teams aren't on the best of terms with each other, understandably, considering the whole situation with Rankine and just the whole like 10 years of fucking being so dominant and then now actually having a bit of like competitiveness and biff in these games. It's a pretty hostile environment, and I think that was reflected in like on field. Adelaide had, I think, more entries into their forward 50. They were just all fucking ridiculously bad. Darcy Moore played gun as fuck and managed to make Adelaide look a fool. But while Darcy Moore undeniably was playing really good footy, and this was probably the best game I've seen him play all year, you also can't really like give it all to him. You got to give a bit of like credit and criticism to the Adelaide like forwards and just their midfield on the entries that they were selecting. Their IQ in this game was on the floor, and I think that that's from nerves and like not being able to hold composure. Collingwood are a very composed team usually during like situations like this where the expectations are high, the intensity's high, and there's lots of room for error. You know, they might make mistakes during the game for sure. Darcy Moore made a horrible mistake at the start of the game, you know, costing them a goal and giving Adelaide, I think it was either the lead or bringing Adelaide back to a really like tight margin. But they were able to respond to those mistakes quickly. They were able to not lose their heads and not get like fucking flustered and everything like that, and composed. You know what I mean? They were very composed on the day. For Collingwood, first of all, Dacos stepped up. I even do it where I'm like, yeah, he's probably the best player in the comp, but you just sort of think that. But fuck me, that opening quarter, he really reminded me in particular that god fucking damn, there kind of is no one that does what he does right now. His field kicking, and like he kicked a few goals that were fucking like amazingly incredible, but his field kicking in particular, that's that IQ shit that I'm talking about, where Adelaide had fucking none of that. He was looking so lateral, his eyes were so lowered, and like making team first decisions every single time, where Adelaide were frantic, they were rushed, they were crumbling under the pressure. And I think it's like the pressure on field for sure, like Collingwood was definitely like playing a very high intensity brand, but also the external pressure. Everything going on with the news story around it and their first time playing finals as this group. Lots of expectations like on players like Riley Thilthorpe, who played like shit. I think he didn't want to be the guy, you know what I mean? Like the biggest one that sticks out of my head is like he went for a handball over to Ben Keys. I assume the justification is trying to get Benny Keys in the game because Ben Keys played like fucking rat shit and always plays like rat shit against Collingwood. Very strange, but Benny Keys, you to go. Holy fuck, you were bad that night. But he's, you know, hands it off to Ben Keys in a horrible position under pressure. It's just fucking hospital handball. When Keys was like, the pressure was on Keys, not Thilthorpe. Thilthorpe was running into an open goal and hands it off, and they got a stoppage, and it never turned into a score for him. Multiple moments throughout the night like that. He just, I don't know, you blame it on the flu or whatever the fuck you want to blame it on, but they weren't switched on that night. Dawson started hot and fell off the face of the planet. I don't know, like it was a great game, but the entire night Collingwood were the better side, and I don't even necessarily think that was reflected on the scoreboard. Like the margin doesn't reflect how much better the Pies were, and I think that yes, Adelaide were able to make pushes throughout the game, but in the end it was all their decision making. They were getting too flustered, being too boring, too straight line, like they never hit up an angle, their switches were slow, and Collingwood really just sort of was like a bit of an establishment of like, you know, we are the Pies, we've done this before, we do this often. It's just, you know, not even like a little brother sort of moment, but more so just fucking composure from Collingwood over Adelaide. And I did tip this as well, not tipped it, but like I said that there's a very high likelihood that the Pies win this one, and they're more primed in this game than the prior meeting of the two teams to do it, and they did it pretty convincingly. All over the ground, I think they were better. Defense was through the roof for the Pies. It was the best intercept final probably like I've ever seen, maybe of all time. I don't know, but you know what I mean. Like lots of fucking insane defensive efforts from Collingwood. Their backwards running was really hard, where I feel like Adelaide might have not had that same willingness to just sprint forward and backwards depending on where the ball was. They wanted to get it forward at all costs, but at that cost they were making poor decisions, trying to kick long down the line all the time and just allowing Collingwood's defense to sort of beat them to it. The best players on the field easily, Dacos and Sidebottom in terms of the attacking factor, I think were really, really important, but the game was won on defense. Darcy Moore, Billy Frampton had a really good game as well. Billy Frampton, like, it was one of those ones where you sort of, you know, Billy Frampton's pretty good, he's all right, but when he plays like that, if he played like that every week, he'd be much higher in conversations in regards to how his like status within AFL and shit like that. But Isaac Quaynor, right? Let's little sneak one, because I do actually really want to like put together something purely about this situation with Rankin and shit like that, and just the biff. I keep saying biff, what the fuck? Biff is like the word for like fight, but why am I using it? I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot to that, and I won't go too deep into it, but one, Crows booing him's the worst look you can possibly fucking have. Two, he handled it better than fucking anyone could have expected. Not only on field, like he was extremely unaffected by the noise, and he was really fucking good. I don't know if you'd call him best on ground, but he has an argument for in that conversation, 100%. He was composed, he wasn't let shit get into him, he was like attacking in a defensive manner, but he was like throwing himself into competitions and shit like that. This was like a really impressive performance from him. Very level-headed, very good response after the game with the questions about the booing. Better than some responses, let's just say that. You know, I think this was a really good showing from him and from Collingwood as a club. It just goes to show they're you know, you can write them off a million times, and because they're Collingwood, they're just gonna be in around the mix, you know? Maybe not every year, but whenever they're around that top 8, top 10, fucking top 10, what? Top 8, top 4, they're gonna be dangerous, and they definitely are this year. They looked probably the second best out of every team that played throughout the weekend, after everyone ripped them all off. But, you know, Adelaide going forward, I'll talk about that, their game this week, but it's not about being cut out for it. It's just about how composed you can be, and they definitely weren't, but they can also turn that around really quickly. Theoretically, you'd assume they'd be able to, because they've done this throughout the year as well. But finals are a different game. So, go to Pies, pretty good result, like in honesty, pretty good game. Wouldn't say it's the best game of the round, but it's probably the second best in my opinion. Moving on to Friday night, we had the Cats getting it done over Brisbane. Now, I'll fully accept that I was just wrong on this. I sort of saw this in my head, I visualized it going the opposite way. The Cats were all fucking over them. You know, the Cats, they looked as dangerous as they have throughout the year against Brisbane, who was the other, you know, top seed favourite for the flag. They made them look fucking foolish, to be honest. You know, if Jeremy Cameron was kicking accurate, he had like upwards of 5 shots on goal within the first quarter. Now, he was kicking like shit. He bagged 2 of them. I think it was like 2-6 for the night and a couple out on the full. He wasn't kicking on, but God, he was on marking them and getting up the field and getting involved really early. Dangerfield was really good out the middle early. Like, fucking Stengel was on fire, bro. Dempsey was on fire. Like, they came to fucking play. If Brisbane wasn't rewarded 2 free kicks in the middle of the game, this game would have been over early, you know? Like, it was over pretty, like, from the very start, I was confident Geelong are going to get this one done, and they're going to do it in a, like, cool fashion. They're going to make a bit of a statement. That statement would have been bigger if there wasn't the fucking distraction and absolute fucking that occurred with the Cam Rayner free kicks. I'll get to that in a second, but first I want to say that the midfield of Brisbane got out-coached by fucking Chris Scott. He tagged Hugh McCluggage out of the game, had no fucking impact. They couldn't get that dispersed kick-to-kick movement going. Geelong was making the field so fat and thin at the same time. Like, they were just all over Brisbane's ball movement. They never let them get it going. They were more damaging going inside forward 50. They just looked hungrier. Their body, like, it was an intense game from both sides, don't get me wrong, but the body pressure of Geelong was just so much more intense. I think that, you know, this isn't end of days for Brisbane, far from it. Like writing them off based on this performance is wrong. They had an underdone night. The saddest thing to come out of it is the fucking Lachie Neale injury. Doing the calf and getting fucking, like, you know, it's just sad to watch, honestly. Like, I want him there for the final series. He's an exciting player. He's a good, solid fucking person in football. You know, you don't like seeing these types of injuries, especially when it kind of derailed a bit of like momentum and shit like that. It's a downer feeling, and it's going to be tough for the boys to turn around this week against the Suns because they're going to give it to them. They're going to give it to them. Now I'll get into that again later on, but fuck me, man, it's Geelong are no joke. Geelong are no fucking joke. Like, people were saying that, oh, they've had a really easy run home for sure. They haven't versed like top 8 teams in their last like 5 games or something before the final series, and there was a bit of concern, like, how does that form carry over when you start versing like the top of the fucking table? God, it carried over well. They made the rest of the top of the table look foolish with their performance that night. I think that was absolutely fucking just immaculate on all fucking forms. Again, a very comprehensive victory. They beat them in the midfield, they beat them in defense, and they beat them going forward. Ollie Dempsey kind of exposed Levi Ashcroft, not exposed, but exposed Levi Ashcroft as he's not good, he's no will. We'll say it like that. He's still young, obviously, he can develop and shit like that, but that's I'm not dissing necessarily at Levi, but exposed that you gotta be 100% on. Dempsey just had so much space, you know, Ashcroft was getting caught ball watching, and just separation, just accountability for Brisbane often wasn't there, and Dempsey tore it up. You know, Stengel was so fucking dangerous. I remember Stengel cut one, Dane Zorko was going for a kick out of the back line, like he's one of his usual creative sort of like, this will get a fucking good movement going. One of those kicks out of the defense, Stengel read it and intercepted it, and Zorko looked like, fuck me, that's, you know, like, God, you know what I mean? It was rattling them. How on the ball Geelong was, like, so switched on mentally. They were just 2 steps ahead the entire night. Now, I like Cam Rayner, like, it makes it hard. It's a Nick Watson thing, you know? Like, this guy's talented, no shit. The arrogance, I like. I like arrogant players, I'm not gonna lie. Toby Green's the guy, you know what I'm saying? But fucking, holy shit. Getting fined for this staging is the absolute minimum that should happen. The umpire who made the call, for one, shouldn't be umpiring for the rest of the final series. I don't think he will. So I'm not like, there's not dance on his grave or nothing. He got sucked in and he got tricked, and then he got caught up in the moment, made it a bit about himself, inserted himself into the game way too fucking much. But Jesus Christ, there's a reason that every single commentator across every single fucking thing had a meltdown when this happened. Doesn't matter if it was on Fox, 7, any of the radio shows, you hear any of the audio of it, and every one of them's going, what was that? That's shocking, that's disgraceful. Because it is, you know, that could have changed the game. And if at all Brisbane won by, at all, like at all, that would have fucking soured it, it would have ruined it, and it would have made it look like a given. It would have made the conspiratorial fans of footy go berserk, because what the fuck, you're trying to give them the win at that point. Like, that was the worst call I've seen all year, by memory, by easy. Like, it's probably not the worst call of all time, but considering the stakes and considering the way it was paid, you know, Stengel's lining up for goal on the other end of the field and it's fucking 200 meters away, like, and it's nothing, you know, and it's a kick in the goal square and then a repeated one after the fucking kick, like, Jesus fucking Christ. And I get Rayner doing it and riling the crowd up. It's not his fault. It's his fault for flopping, and I think that should be punished. I think it should be rubbed out of the fucking game. I think you should get suspended for it, personally. But that doesn't happen, you know, and everyone flops. The people that I do like flop, you know, like Toby Green will sometimes flop. It's usually if he's not getting paid a bunch of fucking bullshit before it, he's cracking it so he flops and makes it really dramatic, but Toby Tax is real. He also gets away with a fair bit too, so yeah, like, bygones be bygones. But I'm just saying that flopping occurs in the game, in the moment. I think it's fucking piss weak and it's fucking ruining the sport a little bit, but you know, they get going about games gone. That's the fucking soft shit. It doesn't matter that we get suspended for saying we probably should about that one, but this flopping shit, you should be rubbed out. Personally, that's my opinion of it. It's never gonna happen, and I think, yeah, like I said, he should definitely be issued a fine. It's stupid from the umpires, and it's stupid that it got fucking, like, I know, like, you can't just say, hey, don't pay that, don't pay that. I genuinely think the ball should not have been ran up that end of the ground. I don't know. It did. It happened. And we've got to live with it now, and I think that umpiring will probably be better in this next round. I think that the umpiring in our game was below average, to be honest. I genuinely think that we got screwed at moments that really were crucial and could have been the difference, but at the same time, you know, I'm not here to fucking blame umpiring for our loss. It was more so that we just weren't good enough on the day. But by the Freo Suns game, I think a lot of issues had been like clarified that, hey, don't fuck up the umpiring, because all of the world's eyes are on you guys right now. Please, let's not make any more fucking mistakes, you know. But it's just shitty that it took that big of a fuck up to make it a story. It's been a thing. I've said it right before the start of the finals that the umpiring is probably one of the biggest issues that during the off season the AFL needs to address. We need more consistency, and that's the least consistent call I've ever fucking seen. That type of fucking pussy little touch shit happens all over the field to every fucking player during all moments of the game. If that's gonna make you dive on your face and get a free kick on the other end of the ground, what message are we sending here? In terms of the clip of Rayner going up and intimidating the umpire, I agree that it's a fully bad look and probably should be, I don't know about to be sanctioned, but it should be at least a statement made that we're not gonna fucking tolerate that. You know, whether or not you make a fine or a fucking, don't suspend him for that shit. Suspend him for the flopping 100%, you know what I'm saying? But going up to the umpire and getting into his face beforehand and making a big stink, it's fuckery, you know? He tricked the umpire. He fucking fooled him. Now the umpire's a dumb cunt for one, paying it, and for two, being like mentally feeble enough to be tricked into paying it. That sounds so harsh, but at the end of the day, it's just fucking excellent. That's fucking excellent. Fucking, it still blows my mind that it got paid, and it's a story that like is fair enough how big it is. That was fucking shocking. That could have been the difference. Now it wasn't. Geelong were able to again keep composed and come out after this. I think it was Blitzarves that kicked a goal after that, relit the Geelong forces and moved them forward. But yeah, they were getting fucked. They got fucked, and they made it out though. You know, they were definitely the better team. And by the way, new flag favourites from me. If they can do that, I'm scared. I'm shit scared. It doesn't matter that my team's no longer in the finals. I'm scared for any other teams. Geelong is probably going to win this thing, and they're probably going to win it in a very mature fashion. But I hope we don't get like a fucking Collingwood-Geelong final. That would be kind of boring. Adelaide fucking Collingwood grand final is possible, by the way. Rankin will be back because of the fucking bullshit 4-week suspension. If that happens, biggest news story. Like, that's, I don't even know. I don't want to fucking theory craft it or like necessarily put bad juju into the air and make that fucking happen, but that's interesting. Anyway, Saturday, right? Saturday, right? We were the worst team on the day. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like we got robbed by umpiring, even though there are a lot of decisions that I think were putrid. Like, not as bad as the Rayner one, but after the Rayner one, I think, what was his name? Warple got, I don't remember who it was, but someone just checked his chest like that, and he's sitting there smiling. He checks the chest, and he's smiling, looks at him, and then goes, oh, and drops, and gets awarded the free, which gets them a goal. I don't know if it was their first goal or their second goal, because we had it in the first quarter of the game. We had it in our forward 50 for fucking 10 minutes and kicked 2 points and couldn't get it. They couldn't get it out of the forward 50, but we couldn't score. We couldn't fucking return. And then they kicked like 2 or 3 goals in fucking 4 minutes, and it was all over from there, to be honest. From that very moment, in the back of my head was like, oh, we're gonna lose this game, aren't we? We're gonna fucking lose this game, aren't we? And it was looking really fucking bad. It was looking really fucking bad. Quickly, Newcomb played insane. Weddle coming back played insane. Barras, Impey, and Hardwick all played insane. Fucking dogs. They were kicking really accurately. That's, to be honest, one of the biggest factors that like made them win so dominantly. They were kicking way better than us, and they were honest for most of it. I don't think, like, sure, the floppers on Hawthorn flopped. Like, that happened, but we were also making a lot of silly mistakes. I think Darcy Jones gave away a 50 metre to Newcomb, and he just waltzed up the ground and kicked a fucking goal because no one manned the mark. And that's not the first time we've done that exact thing. That's not the first time we've given away a 50 and haven't manned the mark, and it's led it to a goal from the opposition. So there was so many mistakes that we made. Kingsley kind of undercoached us. I think we didn't change the entry angles, which is the same fucking thing that in the round where we lost to Adelaide early in the year, and the game was fucking boring as shit, and like the whole time I'm sitting there going, what the fuck is happening? It was the same problem where we just refused to change angles. We refused to lead up. None of our forwards were leading up. Fuck. Whoa, cunt. I'm not gonna get too angry. This one riled me the fuck up, lad. This close to jumping off the balcony afterwards. This fucking close. Let's just, but we were bad, you know, in patches. Now, we were good in patches. That run that we went on where we kicked 7 in a row to tie the game in the last quarter, fuck. Anyway, that run of 7 goals, we looked unstoppable, and we were unstoppable. For that period, we blew our load too early, you know? We didn't get a lead out of it. We just got back in the game, and then they outworked us for the last quarter. But fuck, if we just need to find a way to channel. Now, I'm not saying play like that for a full game of football. That's physically impossible. but channel that fucking raw energy of just go, get it done. Make the right decision under pressure. We were fumbling under pressure as an experienced final team. We are more experienced than Hawthorn, and we were fucking not acting like it, brother. Well, pull your fucking pants up, cunt, and fucking... I'm in so much pain. Fuck. Our window's closed. That's what sucks about this. Kelly, Cornelio, Toby Green, fucking Hogan. Some of the boys down back. Lockie Whitfield's getting old, cunt. You know, we can't rely on this core anymore. Their prime days are past. And we haven't fucking returned in finals. We haven't been able to win an elimination final. The problem with that is, like, we have really good youth. I'm not gonna undersell any of the youth on our team. If any of them stay, a lot of them are staying. I'm being a shit cunt. Jacob Ware and Lee Lear, get out of there, brother. Go live your best lives. I think Saints and Port both confirmed. Good on you. I think that Lear will be really good at Saints, and I think that Port will definitely love Jacob Ware. And it's one of those things, it's like Peatling and Cummings sort of getting out, and fucking Perryman as well. You know, get out, do what you can at other clubs, get the positions that you weren't able to get while you were at us, do what you need to do. That's fine, that's full respect. We're not pulling anything fucking in the off season, are we though? Oh yeah, let's pick up another Essendon player. That's gonna be fucking, that'll be sick. That'll fix all the problems. We have the same problem as North, similar at least, where we're not a destination club. We got nothing to pull in a big name of an established player. Why the fuck would you come to Canberra? That's fucking shit, and we keep losing everyone, so that's fucking shit. Toby Bedford's the best pickup we've had. Jake Stringer played like shit, didn't impact the scoreboard, burnt Riccardi in a really crucial moment that would have helped, you know, fuck, calm. The package, I'm unsold. I'm sending the package back to sender. Fuck out of here, cat. But in terms of the window closing, our youth is really good. Our youth is really strong. Cadman's a promise. Now, he didn't deliver during the finals game. I have faith that he will become that player. I see it in him. I think it's possible. Harvey Thomas, Ralston, Grushevsky, O'Halloran. All of these young enough players are really damaging, and our list goes pretty deep in terms of young talent. None of them, other than maybe Finn Callahan, are out and out break stars, like break the game apart type of stars. You could argue Darcy Jones is, and we'll get to that in a second. But none of the, like, it's a part of that thing where, like, when we can't rely on Kelly, Cornelio, Whitfield, and fucking Toby Green to light it up to get everyone going. It's got to kind of come from this youth at the moment. Like, we have to develop them into those key role players, because Sam Taylor ain't gonna live forever, cunt. He can't be our only defensive position forever. There's a big talk about, like, have we ran the group out as far as it can go? And potentially, like, next year maybe we can do something, but you'd think with the added age and now Darcy Jones being unfortunately out for the entire year due to an ACL, fucking heartbreaking. That's actually the worst thing about this day. If we won the fucking, like, I would rather lose the game by 100 points than have him do his ACL in the way that he did too, bro. Brutal. He was crying. Fucking Kingsley looked like he was about to cry. I was about to cry. Fuck, dude. We're fucked though. Next year's gonna suck, cunt. It's all G. Don't get me wrong, it's still all G. Please let it be all G, God. Fuck, man, it's not all G. Yes, it is. Calm down. Fuck me, I'm having a breakdown. Anyway, fuck, cunt. You get passionate. Fuck, cunt. That's all I can say. Fuck, cunt. Fuck, cunt. Fuck, that sucks, eh? Good on Hawthorn. Yeah? I guess. No, I don't want to be shitty, cunt. Like, they were better. They were just better. They were more composed. At the end of the day, they didn't let, you know, that the Hawks got in our heads. For sure, Ginnivan was looking at fucking Aaron Cadman, who played on in a stupid position. Ginnivan comes up to him and goes, I think he genuinely said that you're like, reading the mouth, it looks like, yeah, you're fucking yeah, but it was in his head, and he was in our heads, you know, like, it happened. Fucking Barras, bro. If he takes another mark on the line, I'm gonna drive to Canberra. That's what I was saying on the couch. And I still might drive to Canberra if I ever see him do it again. I'm so unhappy. Anyway, moving on. Game of the round. Best final. Again, 0 for 4. This was horrible predicting. To be fair, they were all 50-50s and it just happened to land on the wrong side every time. This game was sick. This game was picture perfect fairy book story tales, you know? It had everything. Big leads and momentum shifts and big moments, and the only person that I can genuinely say I think played bad, unless, like, I'm probably misremembering people for sure. Oh, Ben King didn't play for too well. I'll give him that. He got well held. He was unimpactful. impactful. But the only out and out player that I will say played shit was Frederick, which he's usually pretty reliable as like a thereabouts pretty good, okay player. His decision making was fucking woeful. I don't know if it was the pressure or it was just an off night, but Jesus Christ. Two in particular. There's the famous one if he fucking kicks the ball into the open goal, rolling it along the ground, he hits the point post. It actually didn't hit the point post, it hit the goal post for a point. But that's like the infamous one that, you know, that would have won them the game if that went through. But the other one that I genuinely think is worse is there's a moment where Josh Tracy run down tackles Matt Rao. That's fucking huge, cunt. That's like if Jesse Hogan ran down Nick Dacos, you know? That's fucking the biggest lift you can give to Freo. Frederick instantly picks the ball up and tries to run off and play on an advantage, even though Tracy's trying to get up from the tackle, and Frederick gets run down tackled himself. To call that a coach killer is an understatement. That was fucking dog shit. And that ruins any burst of momentum and intensity that you were about to win, any morale you were about to bring the team up with. It's all gone. Both teams played well. I wouldn't say that either team played bad. They were really even. It was a really even contest. I think the scoreline reflects that, where Freo were probably more stable throughout the entire game, but in the moments where the Suns were on, they were able to punish them in very effective ways. Now, it's great for the Suns club, but the proper picture book thing here comes from Swallow kicking the ball to take them over the line and win. But also, I think his last touch before that was directly a turnover that put Freo in front. Yeah, either put him in front or like tied things up for him. Then he gets tackled without the ball. Fully fair free kick, by the way. I saw some people saying that he had the ball and fucking dropped it just to get the free. No, that's a free kick gun every day of the week anyway. And then he lines up and everyone's saying he's just got to hit the scoreboard. No one knows if he's got the distance from him. He lines up and kicks a fucking goal. Dude, I went ballistic. I lost my shit, you know? That was magic. 9 seconds left on the clock. He's just kicked a goal. The biggest goal of his career. He's been a fucking Suns man from the start. He's the only Suns player from the original team left, you know? And he's still there, and this was probably his last ever game for the Suns. Kicked the winning goal. Score review, it was touched on the mark. That actually makes the goal more impressive, to be honest. If you get a touch at the start of the momentum and it still carries that beautifully, perfect splitting dead middle kick, but it being a point was better for the Suns because now Freo have to run the entire field in 9 seconds rather than having the potential to blitz it down from a center stoppage. So he kind of gets to live the best of both worlds. He gets the fucking goal celebration moment kick where, oh my god, I'm the fucking hero of this story. And then he also gets the, oh look, it was a point, but that's kind of better tactically. My camera's dying, fuck, I gotta go really quick. Anyway, it was really good. I'm gonna do the tips super quickly for the next week and I'll just run that through. Anyway, I'm so fucking down. I'm sorry about being a shit cunt in the mood. I'm in the energy. It's all Jeck. It's all Jeck. Anyway, next week we got fucking Adelaide versus the Hawks. I'm going with Adelaide. The Hawks could very much win if the two same teams from the prior week turn up, then Adelaide's definitely gonna fucking lose. Hawthorn was so much better than us, and Adelaide was so much worse than the Pies, but I just don't see that necessarily being the case. I see a real response from Adelaide. Like I was saying, that it was all fucking composure, and it was all temperament that lost them that game. It was decision making. A lot of the things that lost them the game, even in the dying minutes, were easy enough fixes. It's lower the guys, make better decisions, run harder, give it your all. They need to now. Their backs are up against the wall. Maybe they strategically lost the game so that they get ranking back in a final. Who knows? I'm not going to try to put out a conspiracy on nothing. Anyway, but also the Hawks are fully fucking primed to win this game and do damage and be exciting and go in and cock a ball and fucking whatever. But I have a little bit more faith in Adelaide just over what I've seen of the stretch of the season. I think that the most recent meeting between Hawks and Adelaide was a fucking amazing game, one of the best games of all year, and I see a similar game happening this week. Next, we have Brisbane versus Suns in the first ever finals Q clash. Amazing. Again, fairy book, storybook, fucking awesome shit. I'm gonna go with the Suns. Fuck it. I'm gonna go with the Suns, you know. Brisbane probably will respond and turn around and be a lot better. And now that, you know, McCluggage knows he's gonna get tagged because it works so effectively, they can come in with a mindset of, look, we fucked the first week up. We got the second chance for a reason. Let's be professional. Let's beat up the little brother. Gold Coast Suns are gonna be on the moon with energy, with fucking belief, support, everything like that. They got the fucking pink jumper on, bro. They're gonna look clean as shit. It's gonna be great. I'm just gonna tip them to recreate, maybe not nowhere near the same margin as the most recent Q clash during the season. I think they ended up winning by like 70 points or some shit. So I don't see a win that big, but I genuinely believe that belief, drive, passion, and fucking intensity can put the Suns over the line again. But I don't know if I can breathe. Again, I'm riding the fence on this one, sitting on it. It's oh fuck, fence posters fucking basking. You know, that's gross, cunt. Fuck, I don't know what. Get some energy back and be disgusting, cunt. Bang. No, but you know, it's 50-50 game. Both of them are 50-50 games. But yeah, I feel confident leading Adelaide and the Suns, which is crazy. They're both young teams, kind of inexperienced final teams compared to the opposition that they'll be coming up against. But actually, Hawthorn are pretty inexperienced as well. But I don't know. That's where I'm sitting on it. Overall, I'm depressed as fuck. I'm not gonna front. I'm not happy. Yeah.